In this video, the reverse mortgage discussed is the Federal Housing Administration's Home Equity Conversion Mortgage, or HECM. With a reverse mortgage, borrowers 62 years old and older receive payments from a lender against the borrower's equity in their home. Payments are made according to a payment option requested by the borrower. Repayment of the reverse mortgage is triggered only if one of the following events occurs: the borrowers die, the borrowers move permanently from the home, the borrowers transfer title to the home, or the borrowers fail to meet their obligations under the mortgage as set in the mortgage terms. However, after a triggering event occurs, deferment is possible for eligible non-borrowing spouses. To qualify as an eligible non-borrowing spouse, the spouse has to remain the borrower's spouse for the borrower's remaining lifetime after obtaining the reverse mortgage, be identified as the spouse on the reverse mortgage documents, and have occupied and continue to occupy the property securing the mortgage as their principal residence. The deferment lasts as long as the surviving spouse occupies the property as their primary residence and meets the borrower's obligations under the reverse mortgage, including the payment of property charges. Let's review some scenarios to help illustrate when repayment is triggered and when deferment is available. Norman and Brunhilde obtain a reverse mortgage on their principal residence. Both of them are eligible borrowers on the mortgage. A few years later, Norman dies. Brunhilde remains on the property and continues to pay all property charges. Does this trigger repayment of the reverse mortgage? No. As long as Brunhilde occupies the property as her principal residence and continues to pay property charges, repayment of the reverse mortgage is not triggered. Lucius is 69 years old and married to Cassandra, who is 60. Lucius takes out a reverse mortgage on their principal residence. Cassandra is not a borrower because of her age, but was identified as the spouse in the loan documents. Several years later, Lucius dies. Does this trigger repayment of the reverse mortgage? No. Cassandra is an eligible non-borrowing spouse, thus, the reverse mortgage repayment is deferred until Cassandra moves from the property or fails to pay the property charges. A single man, Gerald, obtains a reverse mortgage on his principal residence. Later, he marries Anna. When Gerald dies, will it trigger repayment of the reverse mortgage? Yes. Anna was not married to Gerald when the reverse mortgage was obtained. Thus, she is an ineligible non-borrowing spouse and is not able to defer repayment of the reverse mortgage. Earl and Susan are married co-borrowers on a reverse mortgage. After Susan's death, Earl continues to live on the property as his principal residence. However, he has financial difficulties and fails to pay property charges for an extended amount of time. Does this trigger repayment of the reverse mortgage? Yes. Here, repayment was not triggered by Susan's death, but Earl's failure to pay property charges.